Hi guys and girls, welcome back to my channel Life and Literature. So I hope you enjoyed the last video. I am back with another book review. This one again, spoiler free. All the Right Places by Jennifer Niven. So this book, first off, can I just say I love when books take time with their decoration of their pages. The first thing you kind of look for is whatever book catches your eye, and I think this book massively does that with the baby blue background, these beautiful post-it notes. They're actually a little bit embossed and matte, apart from the actual book cover is shiny. I think the beautiful placement of it, of how it's done the blurb and everything like that, is just so eye-catching, especially to a younger audience, which I think is major with this kind of book. This book, All the Right Places, is massively dealing with a lot of very hard subjects. Now, the book itself is about a boy and a girl, Theodore Finch and Violet. Now, well, Violet Markey, but we kind of know them as Finch and Violet. Now, both characters find themselves, this is no spoiler, but both characters find themselves at the top of a building. Now, both for completely different reasons. Now, Violet's been going through different things. It does actually say at the back, so I'm just going to read this out initially. They meet on the ledge of the school bell tower, and so their story begins. It's only together they can be themselves. Now, it says at the very front, it says at the very top, Theodore Finch wants to take his own life. And then on the note, it has a handwritten message. I'm broken and no one can fix it. And the second one is Violet Markey is devastated by her sister's death. Handwritten, in that instant, we went ploughing through the guardrail. My words died too. The way it's written, is just beautiful. I think the initial message itself is a statement, and then it's their own personal thoughts. Now, throughout this book, you go through both of their own challenges, own struggles, and own point of views. Now, they are both dealing with very different mental illnesses. Both of them, more than likely, it's not directly said within the book, but both more than likely have been dealing with depression. One is dealing more with their own suicidal thoughts, which is Theodore Finch, and Violet Markey is mainly dealing with the loss of her sister and grief, and the grief is causing her some depression. Both find themselves in this very rash situation, and they both learn to let each other in and show how they can find the light in each other's life. And it's so beautiful with how someone can, when you confide in them, when you look to them for help and ask for help, how they provide that to you if they care about you. It is predominantly a love story, because evidently when you rely so much on someone and you are in a very vulnerable situation, you end up caring very much for them and can form a very emotional connection. Falling in love is sometimes a part of that. The way this is written is beautiful, elegant, and it is very direct. So there is a massive disclaimer that if you have any issues with depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, and you can get very hurt, emotional, and can get triggered from them, this is a huge trigger warning. So if you have any of them, firstly, please speak to someone that you care about, you trust, or go to a helpline. I will put details below of helplines and any charities that you can contact that would be able to give you some support or someone to talk to if you are going through any of these and you need support that you don't already have. It is very important you do talk to someone. But if you do have issues that resemble anything like this, then maybe this isn't the book for you. I wouldn't advise it if you are having anything like suicidal thoughts, because this book at the end of the day is from that person's point of view, and it can get very dark at times, and I wouldn't want anyone to read this book not knowing that going ahead. There is a TV show, I'm pretty sure has either come out or is going to come out. I think it's a TV show, it might be a film. I know it's coming out on Netflix, and I know that even in the trailer for that, it does release that information, because it is a very important plot line throughout this book. You are growing and learning about these two completely different characters, and one going through a traumatic event and how they are learning and dealing with it, and the other is in their own turmoil, and it's how they either come out of it, how they deal with it, and how they learn and grow from that. And I don't want anyone to read this book and get upset or emotional if it's something they're already dealing with. I think it is a beautiful book for people that either have someone close to them going through it and they need a bit more perspective, someone that's either gone through it already and come out the other end and would love to read how it is written, and maybe at some points you might even relate to some of the ways that both characters describe how they're feeling, and it's very humanizing to know that there's other people who know what you're going through. And if you can't feel that you can talk to someone or confide in anyone, I also feel like a book is a massive escape to relate to someone, maybe if you're not already ready to talk, which is completely fine. But this book is beautiful because the story, it says at the very front, the story of a girl who learns to live from a boy who wants to die. She's trying to find the light again in the world, and he helps her find that. It's just whether can she do the same for him, and can love always be the only thing that gets you through if you're already too far gone. And I would love to do a spoiler book review, because there are some very big plot lines compared to some other books that I review. This is, I feel, more comfortable to read, more set out. The only thing I will say is, if you haven't maybe dealt with your own mental health in some way, or you are just new to learning about the differences of how people deal with things, it is written in both Violet and Finch's pages. So this is how it's written. So it will say Violet or it will say Finch, both under each, because everyone would see this if you scrolled through. Under Violet's, it's a countdown to graduation, which is obviously a very important thing in American school. And in Finch's, it's different days and different emotions, but I say emotions very loosely because it refers mainly to either being awake or still. And I think anyone that's already dealt with mental health, either someone close to you or you yourself, I think the use of starting the page with whether he feels awake or whether he feels still, and how many days into that he may be of each, I think is very important, because it sets already before you start reading his tone and his frame of mind in that exact moment. I think awake is more he's tuned into what's going on around him, he's more alert, he knows what's going on and he knows how he's going to deal with what's going on. Whereas I think still is that moment where the world kind of silences and everything around you is moving, yet you feel completely still. And if anyone has gone through mental health, especially I think if you've dealt with anxiety, you will know that to your core of feeling the world moving around you when you feel like you can't. And for a author to write so subtly into a book something so important with what someone's going through is beautiful. It's stunning. It is a very important book and it is a must read. I think it is beautiful. It is definitely one I have constantly picked up, reread. I've cried, I'm going to be honest, a couple of times, so you might need some tissues near you. I found it very easy to go through the book actually in like one hit, because I wanted to know how they were doing. I got emotionally invested in both characters and wanted the best for both of them. But you learn very quickly, and you learn throughout, that even if you have an emotional connection to someone, even though these are fictional characters, but you can have an emotional connection to someone and wish so much for their well-being, and yet there's nothing sometimes you can do, and you have to be okay with that, and you have to not hate yourself for that reason, because sometimes people are going to do what they want, and you can advise them and you can show you're there for them as much as you can, but there's no stopping someone that wants to do what they want to do, and you can't hate yourself for that. And it kind of shows you that in the book, that no matter what you say, what you do, what you try to do, every individual person is responsible for their own actions. And again, please, if you're dealing with anything and you start reading this book, or you start worrying about how you may be feeling some of the emotions that some of the characters are, please speak to someone you love, trust, a family member, a friend, maybe a colleague, maybe someone in school, maybe a teacher, or use, as I said, any of the links I put down below, or comment down below as well, because everyone deserves the right to speak to someone and allow themselves to express their emotion. And more importantly, this book does that wholeheartedly and so openly. So it is a beautiful book. I love this book. I'm very excited to see I think it's TV show or film. I'm not too sure which one they've done, but I'm very excited to see how they portray the characters and how the story develops and grows, because it is a very important story to highlight, especially to young people, that it's okay to not be okay. Okay, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. Again, as I always say, comment down below if you'd like me to do a spoiler video. Comment down below if you have any suggestions for other videos of other books you would like me to review, and like down below. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe, as I always say, just because if you love books and you love hearing me go into a whole different element talking about them, then there are so many videos you are going to be awaiting. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon. Bye.